So it's the morning after the night before up in Holland, and it was Koosie's and Heavy's wedding yesterday. So we drove up from Croatia, 16 hours, but had a brilliant night out, fantastic. This was the field where everyone parked in and camped in. We camped down in our swim, lucky enough. The last remnants of everyone just leaving, head for home. And we've got a few days on the lake now, which was very nice of Koos to let us do it. So just trying to sort out a few bits of gear, and can't even get the van in to the lake at the moment. It's the marquee and everything's there, but I'm going to sort out a few bits of gear and get some rods out. So this is all I've got at the moment. A few rods, tackle box, bag the trusty scope net squid, and the alarms. Just enough to get fishing. You never know, might have a chance before I get all my gear sorted. We bivvied up in the corner swim last night, which was nice. We had a good kit without having the rods out, but when I woke up and looked out and there was no rods out there, it felt a bit strange. So I've got to get some rods out. It's no good. Well, we've basically got the whole lake to go out here. There's no one else on this week. It's Sunday, and they actually closed it for the wedding. Anyway, just managed to grab a few bits out of the car, enough to get us fishing. Got the rods, got the pod, a bit of bait. Thankfully, there's boats in every swim, and it's a good setup. This actually, there's nets and weigh slings and everything else, so I ain't got to worry about them mats. But it's also echo sounders set up on each boat, so that's handy. So it means just got to grab the rod and I can get fishing pretty easy. The wind has got up, but it is actually lovely. We've had hot weather for so long, especially coming from Croatia. It was absolutely roasting there, 36, 37 degrees and really humid. And here it's about 12 degrees less, and a bit of rain due every day, really carpy conditions. Just looks great. All I've got to do is find some nice spots out here and hopefully catch a few fish. Besides the facilities I've already mentioned, Koos has spent a lot of time and money installing an air pump system on the lake, which is designed to circulate the water throughout the depths that go down to nearly 40 feet in places. What it's done is, instead of the fish living mainly in the top few metres of water, they now circulate and feed in the deeper water. So it did exactly what it was designed to do. Although the lake had been closed to angling for just over a week, the fish certainly weren't going hungry. Koos had installed 2 automatic feeders on the lake, and he told me they were feeding the fish 30 kilos of pellets every 24 hours, so they were certainly getting plenty of food, and it made me think a little about my baiting approach. A few handfuls of 12 millers around. A few bigger ones too. Got bigger ones here, 20 mils, which is what I'm using on the hook, so I'll put a few of those around as well. Yeah, for now that will do. It was a quiet enough first night and we wondered when the first run was going to come. The rain arrived and we had a few hours of constant downpour, and it was as soon as the rain stopped, the action came. We're off the mark. To be honest, I'm surprised it didn't come sooner. I've only done one night. This is the first proper day here, but it wasn't fish last week. The lake was empty, it was shut down, so I thought we might get off to a quicker start. Fish were showing out there and getting a few liners, but you know, what I think and what the fish think are two different things. So I had to wait a little while. A bit sunny earlier, plenty of rain this afternoon, and that obviously did the trick. It was the rod I actually expected to go out of all of them. There's a spot out there, goes down to 9 metres and then comes back up to 7, which is about 24, 25 foot in English. And yeah, I've not fished this swim before, but I fancied that spot to do a bite or two. And so yeah, a bit of pellet, a few scopex squids out on the spot and a little snowman, and that did the job. I've got a few days yet, and I'm sure there'll be one or two more fish, but yeah, lovely start anyway, beautiful start. Dutch carp. After waiting a while for the first bite, it was great to get off the mark with that 41.5 pound mirror. That seemed to signal the start of things, and the next day I was in action again. Well, a cracking mirror, second one today actually. And I lost one on this spot yesterday evening, but the fish have been in the area for sure. And had 129 on a shallower spot this morning, but this was back on the 7 metre spot, the sort of 25-26, and as always the GoPro card seems to fill up half-eat through a battle. So only got half the battle on film, but here we go. It was a long battle actually, and he's still strong, this fish, but yeah, cracker anyway. 37.5 this one. Whew, lovely. Right, getting back. So far all the action had come from the deeper spots, but I did notice one or two fish showing up to my right in the shallower spots along the reed line. It had to be worth putting a rod there, so my deepest of all the rods, which had yet to produce, I took the gamble and reeled that in and decided to put it on one of the shallow marks. Yeah, there's various features here. We're just coming up to one now. My first rod I dropped on the end of it. It comes up very shallow here. I don't want to fish on the shallow bits, but where it drops down it's an obvious feature anyway, so we'll see what I can find. In actual fact, I found a really nice sandy ledge in about 9 foot, and it looked really good for a bite. And guess what? It was. Well, there's something quite special just resting up in the sling down there. Literally just done an epic battle out in the boat, and the GoPro card's full, so I couldn't get the battle on film, but it's actually quite an important thing actually. When I get back after a hard fight, first thing I do is weigh the fish and then put them in the sling to rest for 20 minutes. Gives me time to put the rod back out, but importantly gives the fish time to rest, especially in all this hot weather we've had. Worst thing you can do is stress them out after a tough fight, get them out and spend all that time photographing them straight away. It's not good for them. The best thing to do is let them rest for a while, get the breath back, and then they always go back much fitter and healthier. But as I said, it's a special carp, so I'll get it out and show you in a minute. Happy days. Well, I said I had something special, and it really is. It's a cracking common, but what it is a 50-pound common, 51.5 pound, which of course means 13 countries. So it's one very, very special carp. Wow. It was on the shallow spot, the 10-foot spot that only put it there this morning, and yeah, it's gone off a couple of times now today. Yeah, it was a mega battle out in the boat, and I saw it was a common, and I thought to myself, it's got to be over 40 pound. Then it looked bigger when I got it out in the sling. I thought, well, upper 40, but it was 50, 51.5. Oh, what a fish. Well pleased with that. God, what a mega result. Thank you so much to Coos and Heavies, because I know Coos kept saying, he said, if you catch a Dutch 50, I want you to do it on my lake. Well, here it is, mate. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Happy, happy days. Mwah. What a cracking fish. Wow. Oh, what a lake. What day. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling, put him down and get him back. Wow. Brilliant. Here he goes. Excellent. Brilliant stuff. What a result. A nice end to what's been a fantastic day. Yeah, it's been a brilliant day, and well, I was just going to have an early night actually, just lay in bed and sort of chill out and read a bit of Facebook and Instagram and whatever we do in the evening, and off it's rattled again. Just under 40 pounds, 39.25. What a brilliant day, fantastic. 4 fish today and 4 good ones. So all that's left is to put this one back and have a good night's kip. See you in the morning. After getting plenty of bait in the swim and having a good night's kip, the action started early the next morning, and what a morning it was. Both 40s, the other one 44.12, this one 41. This is an absolute beauty, this fish. Those lovely scales, what a peach of a fish. Well pleased, well tired, well pleased. This one was 37.5, lovely deep chunky one. Lovely golden colour, what a spell of action, it's absolutely brilliant here. It is a fantastic place this, you know, from the first time we came here I really liked it. It's something really different, it's a different sort of lake, the setup's different. But the fish are absolutely fabulous. Just over 39 actually, about £39.2, something like that. But yeah, cracking fish, do you know what I mean? If you caught this fish any day from any lake, you'd be happy with it, and so I am. But when it's in a long line of absolute stunners, you know, it's easy to overlook it, I suppose, but no, it's a cracker, absolute cracker. Well, this is turning out to be one of those sessions where, well, we're catching them all really. All the ones that I was hoping to catch are turning up. Obviously the supermoon common was the dream fish, but there I've looked at loads of pictures of a really lovely linear in here, and funny enough, Coast said yesterday, he said this time last year it was out, and they are creatures of habit, so there's a chance you're going to catch it. And guess what? I've caught it. It is an absolute peach of a fish, it really is. Just over, a shade over £36, about £36 2 ounce, but an absolutely lovely zip linear. God, what a session this is. It's really something a bit special, this one. Well, it's been quite hectic this morning. Action's been coming thick and fast, and most of the action actually is coming from one area. I've tried different spots all around the swim, to be honest. To start with, there was a lot of fish jumping over the deep water, and what I tried to do was put rods in the right sort of depths. Basically where they're jumping is over sort of 10 metres, and I didn't want to fish in 10 metres, so I found areas around it that were 7 metres, which is about as deep as I wanted to go. I did move one from the deep water up to a bar, and that was when it all started. Yeah, there's going to be more action. There's a lot of fish. I'm getting liners as well on these rods. Both of them rods are getting liners through the night. The action's not coming at night, but the fish are still there, and I'm picking up liners. But as soon as it's light, either late evening's a good time, early morning, that's when it's going off. Yeah, I've got a couple of sacks of the pellet, and they really do love that. It's a great pellet anyway. So I'm putting loads of that out. I'm putting more and more of it out all the time. But also the 12mm scopelet squids and the 20mm, with a little scopelet squid snowman over the top. And yeah, it's just working as it always does. You know, try not to change things around too much. You know, and judging by this, it's clearly I don't need to change things around too much. It's working fine. Yeah, catching some cracking fish off it, and yeah, the fish. Here we go. Well, another lovely common actually. We've had some nice commons, of course, this week. Yeah, and this is an absolute corker, lovely deep-bodied. Oh, 40 pounder, 40 pound 6 ounce. Oh, what a cracker, eh? God. Oh, I'll sleep well tonight. During the afternoon, Coast came down to visit with his friend Backer, and of course his dog Yoppy, who's always up for chasing a few sticks. And while I was having a game with Yoppy, the alarm of course sounded, and Coast was able to come out on the boat and record all the action.
Yesterday was bouncing up and down, using the thing. Average play time about 15 minutes.
Yeah, good 15 minutes, probably more like
First trip down. Bigger now.
How about that? Wow. Oh, just look at them scales. Wow, that is a lovely result, because that was a fish I caught on my first trip here, and one of my favourite fish. And there it is again, and a little bit bigger. Right, what do you reckon then?
I reckon it'll be 47, 48.
I reckon 52, 46.
That,
Is it?
yeah, it is. Well, it's just a fraction over 50.
Fuck me. Sorry.
Well, what a fantastic result. Everyone was here, just having dinner, and it's gone off, and wow, speechless really. Caught that cracking common earlier in the week of £50, and I was looking at the fish on the wall earlier in the week because one of my favourite fish of all time was one I caught the first time here.
I remember that, yeah.
The fish of 2 halves, and it is an absolute stunner, and I've just caught it again. It was 43 then, and this time it's just over 50, about £50 2 ounce. So £50 common and now £50 mirror. I'm not going to take long, but I do want to show you, obviously. Look at that, what a fish. That is one of my favourite mirror carp. It really is. It's absolutely gorgeous, this fish. What a way, I mean it's the last evening of the trip. What a way to finish up. What a beautiful fish. Cheers, Coast. Absolutely amazing. Amazing, mate. Wow.
Okay.
Last morning on the lake, got to get everything packed down in the next hour or so, but yeah, what a trip it's been. Still early, still tired. Had loads of rain this morning actually, so everything will be packed away wet, which is typical last morning. But yeah, a couple of fish. Had one in the night, £36. I just slipped that one back, and just had another one, another £36 actually, to finish what's been a fantastic session. You know, we haven't even done 5 full days, only about 4.5 days fishing. But this is, well, the 18th fish we've had. And yeah, typical Carplantis fish, very lively. They're so fit and healthy, these fish. But they are absolutely lovely. This is a typical one really, absolutely stunning, lovely scales, very strong, very hungry, but yeah, lovely fish. God, we've had a fantastic time here, we really have. This is a brilliant lake, and it's just getting better all the time. You know, we was here at the start when it first opened up, and it looked brilliant then. And to come back and see it now, see how it's improved, and these fish are just brilliant. Yeah, we'll certainly come back here many more times because it is fantastic. Brilliant place, we've had a brilliant time, but time to get him back now and get the gear in the van and head off home once again. So that's all for now. See you next time.